Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Oh! Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Tata Nexon EV long range empowered variant in empowered oxide color. It comes in 3 variants. The base variant is Creative. The mid variant is Fearless, which is actually the top variant with the ICE-powered Nexon with the petrol or diesel engine, of course. And this one has a new top variant known as Empowered. This is the key of the vehicle, which is the same as the key on other Tata cars. Unlock the car, lock the car. This is for the lights, and this is to open the boot of the vehicle. The new Tata Motors EV Identity .EV, which is kind of weird because Nexon EV was just fine. Why do we have to call it .EV? Nexon .EV. Obviously, the design is inspired by the curve. It gets a full-length light bar. Where are the people who were calling the Verna's light as tube light? Now Desh Ka Loha has it, so it's fine or what? And people only buy an electric car because they want something which is cheap to run. Nobody really cares about the environment. If they did, there would not be so much garbage lying around. And since people are so price conscious, they opt for an electric vehicle in India, of course. And since we are talking about money, let me tell you about an amazing fintech platform called PayMe. It's a RBI registered NBFC into digital lending which offers attractive discounts and interest rates with complete digital onboarding and easy repayments. Taking loan from PayMe requires minimum KYC and can be availed without any collaterals. The approval is instant. PayMe is fully compliant with recent RBI digital lending guidelines. Check the link in the description to know more. Coming back to the BYD Atto 3. Yeah, the front design actually reminds you of the BYD Atto 3. But then obviously Tata Motors showcased the curve long back, so I'll not say they copied BYD or Hyundai with this full light bar, of course. In terms of the design, it's very much similar to the regular Nexon ICE, which is petrol or diesel. ICE stands for internal combustion engine. But here they have added this new light bar, the connected light bar, which actually has a use because it actually shows you the charging status for the first 10 seconds when you unlock or lock the car, something of that sort. It will show you in the light bar how much charge there is. So if it's 20% charge, the light bar is going to glow this much. And if it's 80% charge, it's going to glow a lot longer. Let's open the hood. I would say not frunk because there's no storage space here. This is the new electric motor, which I think is Gen 2, 20 kgs lighter as well. No insulation there, which is there in the ICE-powered cars, but it's not needed at all. In fact, there's so much empty space as well, which is kind of cool because probably they can put a bigger electric motor tomorrow. Now, some things have changed here because in the ICE-powered Nexon, there's this black treatment, but here we have got body color, which is kind of cool. 2 parking sensors at the front parking camera, huge Tata logo. Tata needs to change its logo, I feel now. Towing hook right here. And this thing is also different from the Nexon ICE. This is the projector for the headlight, 2 fog lamps, ice cube style fog lamps, of course. Kia. And of course, this is the DRL, which is really nice. But you know what? Fit finish is not that good because you see this does not align. Neither does this align. And this is the dynamic swipe indicator, which also looks fantastic here. Really cool lights. In fact, when you unlock the car, it does this welcome thing as well, which is definitely very cool to look at because that's something you see in higher end cars. Tire size is the same, but it runs on low rolling resistance tires. 215/60/16. Alloy wheel design is also the same. Very EV specific alloy wheel design, which is also there in petrol and diesel models, funnily enough. Plastic here. Says .EV right there. You get a camera here. Obviously, it gets 360-degree parking camera. From the side, other than the .EV badging, you really don't realize that this is petrol, diesel or any electric vehicle. This is not born electric, of course. In fact, you will notice something. It has this sort of a cladding treatment. At the rear, you get disc brakes, which are not there with the petrol or diesel Nexons. And look at this. Yeah. This is also not aligned. If you push it in, then it's aligned. Otherwise, it's not aligned. Fit finish is actually very bad. So, they want to do better aerodynamic efficiency. This should slot in properly. No request sensor here. Notice one thing, okay? This is proper, not so on the other side. There's an air curtain here. Yeah, a functional air curtain has been given for better aerodynamic efficiency. And the range has actually improved by 2% because of better aeros. It gets all LED lights, which actually reduces the load by 30%. Which is quite significant. You get roof rails. I don't think they're functional. Shark fin antenna right there. And an umbrella holder, which has always been there in this car. So I'm just going to use an umbrella and tell you that it only works with smaller umbrellas because now if I try to shut this, that's not going to happen. So this umbrella is just way too big, and it's now a twisted umbrella. Okay, this is not what you think, but yeah, it doesn't really work. Anyways, you get a hook here. Yeah, there's a hook here. There's an interesting video being played right there. I'll come to that in a bit. Let's open the glove box, which has the tiger right here. This is the first aid kit, again very cheap. 2 cup holders in a glove box, a pen holder, a compartment above, a compartment below, cooled function, and a light as well. This is the manual, owner's manual, which is 292 pages big. That's big, well, that's what she said, and tells you what all you have to do. 24 service, doorstep service, online service, quick repair. Yeah, it needs all these things, obviously. Let's just shut this. Blue stitching right there, which is quite nice. There, the Nexon EV is getting launched, and there is the XUV400, its main rival. This is a very interesting feature in this car. Really appreciate Tata Motors for doing it. Okay, you can actually turn on and off the passenger airbag by putting the key and switching it like that. But this key has to be removed from here. Yeah, so the key actually comes out just in case the remote fails. That function is also obviously there. They've actually straightened, keep quiet, stop talking. The key is in my hand, it keeps shouting. Okay, and it also rings the horn, which is there with all Tata cars. They have strengthened the side of the car, the body shell, for better side pole impact protection. So that's again a very cool thing. At the rear, again, it's very similar to the petrol or diesel Nexons. However, this thing is a little different because you get the black treatment here. Otherwise, you get a full silver finishing, sort of a skid plate treatment. 2 request sensors, not request sensors, 2 parking sensors at the rear. So cost cutting has been done there for sure. This is not LED. This is actually halogen. Yeah, there's a bulb here for the reversing light. This is obviously a reflector. Dynamic swipe indicator. Full length light bar, which looks phenomenal. You know why? Because it has this welcome thing going on there, which I really like. And umbrella of truth, which is now a twisted umbrella of truth. Disappointed that there is no exhaust. How can there be an exhaust in an electric car? So there's no sound. It is the biggest disappointing part of any electric car. Let's open the boot. Boot has become slightly bigger apparently, very slightly, because they have actually made some changes to the suspension, like the design of the suspension. The suspension is very similar to before, obviously. You get a subwoofer here from JBL. Cars without a subwoofer will have slightly more space because lower variants will not get it, of course. Light placement here. 3 kgs, 3 kgs, 3 kgs, 3 kgs. So 6 kgs you can carry. This is the button to enable vehicle to load. Yeah, it has got vehicle to load, and it has got vehicle to vehicle charging as well, in spite of having a 400 volt architecture, which is fantastic. Spare wheel is full size. That's not the case with the Nexon petrol or diesel because they get 195 section tires. This is 215/60. Yeah, I'm talking about the spare wheel, and it's not an alloy. So there it is, steel wheel, of course. This is, I think, Jack, Rose, whatever, right there. But the vehicle to load adapter is not here. They should be supplying it. Tire puncture repair kit, which is not needed because it has a spare wheel. But Tata Motors is like, let's remove 2 parking sensors at the front, 2 at the rear, and give them a tire repair kit, which is not needed, honestly. Parcel shelf I'll open from here right now because I want to show you another thing, that I can recline the seat like this. So 60/40 recline. 12 volt charging socket has been given right here, which should have been in the center actually. But anyways, Tata logo not needed there, but they have still given it. 2 lights here for the number plate, of course. And overall build quality and all seems quite nice. Now you might be wondering, where is the rear wiper washer? It's actually hidden. So they have done a Range Rover. So this is actually the wiper. They've hidden it below the rear spoiler, of course. There is another Easter egg. Yeah, there's the tiger. So lots of Easter egg on this car, which is a cool thing. Tata's trying to become a cool brand. But this is not cool, not cool. Let's get inside. Rear seat experience is as good as always because they have not made changes to the overall design of the chassis or the length or anything of that sort, which is the same as before. This is a facelift, of course. Door pockets are okay, not really big, not small, get the job done. Piano black finishing here. Lot of hard plastics. Okay, this is soft leather has been put. That's kind of cool. It gets 6 airbags. It gets ISOFIX child seat mount. Seats are actually nice and comfortable. They obviously don't recline, but you can put them ahead to increase the boot carrying capacity. Space at the rear is actually decent. It's not bad. Leg room is good, knee room is good. Under thigh support is poor because of the battery now. The seat is placed in such a way that, look at my under thigh support, it's really very bad. Footroom is also good enough. Height adjustable seat belts at the front. Airbag written right here because 6 airbags, of course. No magazine pockets. Yeah, no magazine pockets. I don't know why that's the case. There is a USB-C fast charger. There is a USB-A in the Nexon petrol diesel, but that has been removed and you only get one single one here. Yeah, just one single outlet. But this is a fast one. This is a dongle so that it powers that particular screen right there, because this is a Wi-Fi dongle for internet. To use that, you obviously have to create a hotspot of your own. AC vents placed here, there's nothing below. They should have actually offered us a 12 volt charging socket here, not there, which is not easy to use. Center passenger does not get a headless center passenger, and you get a center armrest with twin cup holders. Seats are actually nice and comfortable, yeah, I really like it. And you get proper seat belts for all the 3 passengers. This guy has a shoulder, does not have a head unfortunately, and there's no hump as such. I mean, it's a slight hump, so 3 people can be comfortable, but the cabin is just not wide enough here, so just 2 people should sit in, because obviously no headrest right there. Headroom is fine because they've scooped this out, so it's adequate, not bad. Hook, handle, and the dashboard design is also very similar to the regular Nexon as well. But the thing is that they have given this nice beige treatment, which looks really cool. In fact, the steering treatment will remind you of the Land Rover Range Rover. That's true. I'm not even kidding. I'm not exaggerating, but that is very much true. What is this? To keep some stuff right there. Doors shut with a proper third. Now, before I get to the other side, let me show you. This is proper. Okay, yeah, smart keys in my hand. Please don't panic. I'm not running away anywhere. There is the camera, obviously, rear parking camera. And that brings me to this thing. See, this is not aligned at all. Okay, you have a request sensor here, you don't have it on the other side, but this is not aligned at all. So if they're aligned, all this aerodynamics would have improved by 1% for sure. Take it from me in writing. 50 lakh cars in 25 years. This badging comes with almost every Tata car these days. Obviously black finishing, dual tone treatment on the roof for this floating roof treatment. And let's get inside. First things first, seat ventilation. So there are 3 settings for this. So 3 fan speeds for seat ventilation, which is there for both the front seats in this car. Door pockets are decent sized right here, and umbrella holder obviously. It has this piano black finishing. One touch, doesn't work all the time, but one touch up and down for the driver's side. That's it. No illumination for others, no one touch, nothing of that sort. Controls for the outside rear view mirror adjustment. You get a proper dead pedal. That is actually to open the hood. Some storage space right here, and the seat is obviously adjustable manually. That is, come on, we need electric now. I'm being a little greedy because electric cars should have that. Okay, if I've noticed one thing, they have removed all the tri-star pattern. I think Mercedes told them, no, not anymore. You can't do that anymore. It's enough. So they have removed that as well. Sort of carbon fiber finishing right here. This video is quite interesting, so I'm just watching it at the moment. It also gets height adjust. One second, does it get? No, it does not get height adjust here. I thought it does get height adjust. No height adjust for the co-passenger. Let me still verify it. Yeah, no. That is obviously for seat ventilation. Says Nexon EV on the carpet as well. Will you shut up? How much sound it makes? Okay, car feels quite robust. Definitely it does. It tells you how to manage the steering wheel with a warning right here. And there is this place to keep your papers or toll receipts or whatever, insurance. This is not properly done. This could have been done better because it really doesn't block the sun. So namesake sun visor here. You get a mirror there, of course. Auto dimming and light placement here on the top. These are the controls for the connected car. I think it has IRA connected car, of course. And this is telling you if the airbag is on or not. There's a sunroof here, which is not the best mechanism. I'll tell you why. So first things first, what is different in this variant? It gets a bigger 12.3 inch screen. Otherwise, the regular Nexon, not this one, the facelifted model, gets a 10.25 inch screen. So it's become bigger now, which is good, which is obviously there in the top end variant. And because of which, it also has something very interesting. Okay, let me just shut this video over. I've been blabbering since almost 16 minutes. So I press this and here we come to the home function. So this is the screen which you can see. Let me actually turn off the lights so that you can see it properly. Before that, it has this cheese grater here. Okay, this is actually the wireless charging pad. Physical handbrake is not here, which is the case with the regular Nexon. Instead, it gets an electric parking brake and an auto hold function too. This is the drive mode selector, which is unnecessarily big, and the new gear lever has come. I like the old gear lever or the gear selector which was there in the Nexon EV, which is so nicely done. I don't know why they have changed this. This is obviously cheaper for them, but this is very much inspired from a Jaguar Land Rover car. 12 volt charging socket, USB-A, USB-C, which is now fast. Yeah, it's really very fast. Piano black finishing, which is definitely a fingerprint magnet. This is a magnet here as well, and there's some storage space on the inside here. Where's the dongle for the internet, which powers this particular screen right now, and this shuts like this. Overall quality of the interior is actually good. On the exterior, and I mean obviously you see there's no alignment here, so in terms of panel gaps and all, plenty of them in this car for sure. Nice carbon fiber finish here, for carbon fiber, which is fake of course, and you have leather treatment here. Hard plastics lower down, but this is actually soft material, which is good. And that actually brings me to, hey Tata,
say a command.
sunroof kholo.
जरूर sunroof खोल रहे हैं.
So it has got voice commands, Hindi, English, Tamil, lot of other languages as well. If you notice, this has gone inside. Now I'm actually going to shut this, and when I shut this, then this comes out. Okay, it comes out till here only. And the problem is it doesn't go any further than this, so this is not very nicely done. I'll keep the sunroof open a bit. I'm not opened it completely, and I'm going to talk to this lady again. Hey Tata,
say a command.
sunroof kholo.
sunroof पहले से ही खुला है.
अबे आंटी, कहाँ खुली है sunroof? इतनी सी खुली है, पूरा कौन खोलेगा? हाँ. So yeah, oh yeah, this goes inside. This does not go inside with the regular Nexon? That's kind of weird. I think it happens because the sunroof was a bit open. Otherwise, it doesn't go any further. Yeah, that is the case. So the steering wheel is new. It gets this flat bottom treatment. I love the treatment right here because it kind of reminds me of the Range Rover. Lot of buttons here. These are actually for the phone and also for the audio system, but accidentally you end up pressing a button right here. These are for the cruise control, and this is to browse through that particular screen. In fact, the horn can be pressed from here, from here. This is obviously a fingerprint magnet. The Tata logo is eliminated. Listen to the horn. Yeah, the horn is terrible. And that is the screen, which is a 10.25-inch unit, which is different from the ICE-powered Nexon because obviously it has to be a little EV specific with green colors, splash green colors, and you become eco-friendly instantly. So I'm going to browse through this screen. There's a lot of information. It tells you the range, it tells you service reminder, energy analytics, and media and navigation and whatnot. In fact, you can put a full map here if you have an Android phone connected because Google Map works. Otherwise, with Apple, only the Apple Maps work when Apple CarPlay is connected, both of which are actually wireless. CarPlay and Android Auto are wireless in this car. There it tells you trip information, and here vehicle reminder, service reminder, energy flow, histogram for what? I don't want to go back to those days when I was using a histogram because yeah, that was really bad. There's a compass right here, and that's about it. So let's come to this screen because this is the real highlight of this car right now. Firstly, you get a clock, of course, and then you have got a AQI monitor as well. So it has a air purifier with a PM 2.5 filter, which is good. Let me get into this particular menu because you've got a ton of things. Amazon Alexa, racing is part of the arcade EV thingy, climate, EV specific menu, which tells you what is the range like and all that. It has got JBL modes. Yeah, there are 8 JBL modes here. So depending on the mode, the way the audio is playing will obviously change. This is kids sleeping in back, which will just play music from the front speakers. So that's also a very cool thing. So they're working a lot in terms of giving it more cool bits. Here, there's a sound demo. You can share a location. Tata Assist, they will call you back. Voice Assistant, what 3 words? Navigation is also there. But what I want to get into right now is this BB Racing 2. I'm just going to resume the game, and yeah, this is really cool. This is like a mini Model X because this is the Desi Tesla I am in right now, because you have all these games and all to play around, which is kind of cool. So I'm just going to exit this menu. Arcade.ev is the latest thing, which obviously works with your Wi-Fi hotspot. Here you've got YouTube, you have got Amazon Prime, Disney Hotstar. So you can watch videos here when you're charging the car. So you're going to get entertained. You can play games as well. I just pressed some wrong button. And then you can see news. You have the Ghana app, JioSaavn. You have so many things here, weather information, radio and whatnot. So this is the coolest thing about this car, which actually brings me to the reverse gear.
City drive mode activated.
Did I even ask you, lady? So this is the reverse parking camera. It doesn't seem as sharp as the regular Nexon. I don't know why. Maybe because of the light right now. You can zoom in and zoom out. There's obviously the 3D view, which does not have a sunroof because I think Toyota has designed this particular system. There it rotates and all. It's a very nice thing which they have done with this 360-degree parking camera, front tire view, rear tire view. All that is also there. And let's just get into park. So that's that. Nice screen actually.
Sport drive mode activated.
Randomly this lady talks. I have not told her anything. I don't know how it happens, but it keeps happening on its own, which is a bit disappointing, of course. So yeah, this is actually a fingerprint magnet, and this again is a fingerprint magnet, and it's very reflective as well. So it's sunny, so it's going to reflect on your face. This is for the fan control, which is physical. This is also for the temperature control, again physical. AC controls here. This is express cooling.
Express cooling turned on. Windows may roll down.
It rolls down the window. This is a very cool feature to have, especially in India, because
Express cooling turned off. Please roll up windows if down.
So this is really very cool a feature to have there. It actually is one touch at times. So with express cooling, it really cools the cabin. It makes sure that it obviously rolls down the window, blasts the AC at full speed. That is also happening. This is for the charging port if you want to open that. This is for the front fog light. This is for downhill assist. It has got hill ascent control. This is for the hazard light. This is to open the boot of the vehicle. This is to lock and unlock the car. Thankfully, you have a dedicated button for it. And this is for the 360-degree parking camera. I'll tell you something, these are a bit fidgety to use, so I'm not really impressed by these buttons. I don't really like them, to be honest, because you need physical controls, you need physical buttons for certain things. That is the start stop button, and the steering wheel is adjustable only for height, not for reach. Automatic headlights, oh my god, this is so much effort. Automatic headlights, automatic wipers as well. And if you notice one thing, this Tata logo is eliminated, but when I turn off the car, it actually goes away. There it says take key out, 1 hour mode activated, obviously to save the battery. And let me just open the door, and there all the screens turn off. Now as soon as I turn on the car, this Tata logo eliminates. There is this thing which comes Tata Motors, says IRA right there. This logo elimination is actually a cool thing. It does this full swipe up thingy also, which is a bit unnecessary. However, steering feels super duper light. It gets a new AC compressor as well for better cooling, I believe, or maybe it's lighter. And I figured out why the blind spot monitor wasn't working. Somebody had actually turned it off. So here it is on. It's actually a very cool feature to have, but only if it was here instead of here, something how Hyundai does it, because this is in your line of sight. This is a bit distracting to see it on the left side. But it has a driver rear view monitor as well, and then you can obviously turn on a lot of things, park assist and all. Decide how you want the tone, the speed, the volume and all that as well. Meanwhile, since it gets rain sensing wipers, the rain sensor is placed right here, which actually brings me to this scary dog. Let's get into the boot right now. And here I'm going to show you the charging cable. This is the one in triangle. This is the charging cable. It comes with a 7.2 kilowatt AC charger as standard, and the zip is not that great here. In fact, it got utcode before. And this is the charger, which is a 7.2 kilowatt one AC fast charger. But the problem is that Tata Motors only supplies a 15-meter cable. So that's a bit of a problem. So with 3.3 kilowatt, that was slightly better for people who did not have a plug right there. But anyways, oh god, let's start driving right away. It says Nexon.ev. This dot is the most unnecessary thing I've seen in my life. Okay, let's start driving. First and foremost, air conditioning off. It makes a lot of sound. It also has voice commands and whatnot happening inside. So it tells you all that and more. In fact, I'll just open my seatbelt for a second, get into drive mode, and okay, parking brake applied.
Please fasten driver seat belt.
Thank you, lady. You're so thoughtful. It has a split screen here, which is also quite cool. I kind of like it, of course. And you won't believe it, I also stumbled upon another thing, that if I touch this AC thing, it shows me this without the Tata logo, because when they took that shot, now the car was off, so the logo wasn't there, of course. It says pre-production hardware. They're going to start sales in 3-4 days and still has pre-production hardware. It's quite surprising to me, honestly. Let's get into sport mode. Yeah, split screen.
Drive
Shut
mode
up.
activated.
Okay, keep quiet, I got it. There's a split screen here, which is also kind of cool. We get into drive mode. Traction control cannot be turned off anymore, which is quite disappointing. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, hazard lights off, and off we go. Traction light is continuously blinking. Performance is extremely linear. Yeah, very linear performance. That is like one thing which is obviously something you get with EVs, of course. And you don't get the kick in the pants feel anymore, which is kind of surprising. So let me quickly explain how this works. First and foremost, earlier there was the Prime and there was the Max, the two variants of the Nexon EV. Variants in the sense the battery variants are not the other trim levels. Now they have replaced those with a medium range and a long range. The medium range gets a 30 kilowatt hour battery pack, same as before, and the long range, which is this one, gets a 40.5 kilowatt hour battery pack, which is the same as earlier. So there's no difference in terms of the size of the battery pack. Only thing is that they have made 2% improvements to the range, and the range has improved by 12 kilometers. The torque output has reduced. So the medium range produces 129 horsepower and 250 newton meters of torque. So torque output is reduced by 30 newton meters there. Meanwhile, the long range gets 145 horsepower and the torque, oh my god, low speed ride is not the best. And the torque output is the same 250 newton meters, which has reduced by 38 newton meters when compared to before. So yeah, that change has happened, because of which you would expect the car to become slower. No, it hasn't, because the motor is now 20 kgs lighter and thus it is tuned better now. To go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, it takes 8.9 seconds. So yes, it has become faster. I'm just going to put the map view here. I'm just going to change it. So yeah, that's kind of cool, but the only thing is, if you have an Apple phone, Apple Maps aren't that great. They make you get lost at times. Let's actually talk about the range, which is quite crucial in such a car. 465 kilometers is the claim range for the long range model, which in the real world will not return that much. It will return somewhere around 300, 320 kilometers, because ARAI does the testing in God knows where, which is not really practical in the real world. Why doesn't it go full screen? Why is this screen coming here? I don't know. Anyways, the performance is actually dulled down. It feels more like a petrol powered car than an electric, because there's no kick in the pants wheel. You're like, no, it does not put you back into the seat aggressively. So that's a little disappointing. It's fast. It's quite fast. It's quite linear in the way it puts out all the performance, and the top speed has increased by 10 kilometers per hour. Earlier it was 140 kilometers per hour, restricted there. Now it's 150 kilometers per hour, restricted there, of course. And the faster you drive, the faster it's going to deplete the battery. It now comes with a 7.2 kilowatt charger, which is an AC fast charger. So this one obviously charges faster, 10 to 100% in 6 hours for the long range. The medium range obviously charges faster. I would not recommend you buy the medium range at all. I will say just get the long range, because at the end of the day, if you're spending so much money on a car, and on an electric car that is, you would definitely need good amount of range and not go charging all the time. Ride is actually better as you speed up, because low speed ride is a bit on the stiffer side, so you crash through the bumps, and that's largely because this car has a slightly stiffer setup, and this one feels even more stiffer than the petrol or diesel models because of the weight of the battery, of course, which obviously affects it. Weight of this car is around 1531 kg, somewhere around that. It has become the same weight. I mean, it's the same weight. I was going to say it has become heavier now because of all the added features, but then they've also reduced 20 kgs of weight now when compared to the older model, because of the Gen 2 electric motor, which somehow feels slightly more sprightly in spite of the fact that torque output is reduced. Who reduces the torque output? Tata Motors is like, we do, but at the end of the day, the performance hasn't dulled down, so I'm not going to complain. Only thing is, the reduction of torque has definitely affected the kick in the pants feel, so it feels so linear and doesn't have that immediate rush which was there in the original Nexon EV, which was the most fun you could have in a Desi EV. Now obviously the XUV400 without traction control is also ridiculously crazy, with wheels spinning all the given time. Hazard lights off. As soon as I leave the throttle, I'm not pressing the accelerator at all. It's cruising along very smoothly. Regen is off completely, so it's going to crawl at a speed of 7 kilometers per hour, and there are 4 regen modes. Obviously, I turn on regen 1, the car doesn't really slow down. Regen 2, the car does not slow down. Regen 3, the car does not slow down. Yeah. No, it's not slowing down. So, one pedal driving doesn't seem to be here at the moment. And it's very smooth. Obviously, it's good amount of performance lower down also. So, it's a very good city car for sure. No denying that fact. Only thing is that, the battery range in the low, like the mid-range, which should actually be known as the low range, is very less at 325 kilometers claimed. So, you can expect around 250 kilometers, which is nothing, honestly. So, anyways, off we go. A little bit of, oh my god, quite a lot of wheel spin because of the torque rush. So the medium range actually takes 4.3 hours to charge from 10 to 100%, which is faster than the 6 hours this long range takes. And in terms of the overall range of the vehicle in the real world, when I turned on the vehicle in the morning, it was showing 381 kilometers in eco mode with the air conditioning off, and that was 359 kilometers in the city mode and 342 kilometers in sport mode. And when I turn on the AC, it reduces by 20-30 kilometers in each of the modes. So that is actually what could be the realistic range, because that's what it was showing in the multi-information display right now. Since we have hit a traffic, I think let's do the audio test right now. Audio quality is actually quite good, yeah. The speakers work really well. So Tata Motors has always been offering good audio quality in this car. Let's press the horn. Actually, you should press the horn from here, but it's not very ergonomically sound to press the horn like this. So you press it from here, and when you do that, you have to immediately clean this because fingerprint magnet. See, I press, and there my fingerprints are there. What if Daya comes here and takes my fingerprint and then, does a DNA test? I could be screwed for no reason when I've not even done anything. So that's kind of scary here. Jokes aside, let's actually turn on the camera, the driver rear view monitor. Now this car has low rolling resistant tires. It has the least rolling resistance of any tire in India right now, for better efficiency, of course. And if you get a DC fast charger, I think a 50 kilowatt DC fast charger will juice up the battery in 56 minutes, whether you're in the medium range or the long range, which is quite fast, to be honest, yeah, in terms of how fast it is able to juice up the battery. And there are 3 drive modes. There's eco, there's city, and there's sport. In eco mode, performance is a little dull. In city mode, it's a good bet of Ford. And in sport, obviously, it feels more spritey. Yeah, it doesn't have that crazy kick in the pants feel. I really miss the first generation of the Nexon. The initial Nexon, when I drove it, I was like, oh my god, this is the Desi Model X. Now I'm just saying this is the Desi BYD Atto 3. So see, we have come a long way. These 4 regen modes, they definitely work well because now we are in the maximum, and as soon as I leave the throttle there, it is slowing down. So that's how regen actually works, and it's not having a big difference between the regular braking and regen braking. So I think that's something they've done really well. It gets rear disc brakes, which is kind of surprising because even Volkswagen does not offer rear disc brakes in its electric cars like the IDs and the Enyaqs and all, because Volkswagen is like, since most of the braking actually happens because of regen, there's no point giving heavier discs, save cost there and also save weight, plus lesser maintenance with drums at the rear. That was something surprising when I learned about it, because with drums, when you don't use them for a long time, they don't really need that much maintenance. That's also something you have to keep in mind. My god, the world is crazy. We always keep cribbing, why is there no rear disc? And when they offer a rear disc, I'm cribbing, why is there not a rear drum? That's stupid of me, na? And then thankfully they've shifted the regen modes from here to the steering wheel with the paddle shifters, which is more intuitive to use, because on the go, if you want to change the regen modes, it's slightly easier here for sure, no denying that fact. Now obviously it has got vehicle to vehicle charging and vehicle to load as well, something which is offered by much more expensive cars. This car is really going to blow the XUV400 out of the water if it already hasn't, because the 400 just can't stand in front of the older Nexon. With the new Nexon, Tata Motors has really killed the competition. The competition was dead already. Then I mean, it's absolutely insane. This car really did not need an update, but Tata Motors has still gone ahead and done that. Okay, there's an ambulance, we're just going to turn to the corner so that the car can pass. And that also brings me to the fact that this car now has 6 airbags, right? Earlier it had 2 airbags. Plus they have reinforced the side structure of the vehicle for better side pole impact as well. So they are working across to make the Nexon a better car, and that's something which hopefully should prevent the car from toppling, because I think that's to do with the ESP system, which is a little bit erratic in this vehicle. Yes, a little bit of torque steer, very little, not as much as the earlier models, of course. Now since this has the Gen 2 motor, it's a permanent magnet synchronous motor, which obviously is 20 kgs lighter. It also uses 30% less rare earth materials, which is fantastic, because of which obviously it's going to be more sustainable in the long run to keep making such batteries. 8-year warranty on the battery, I think 1.6 lakh kilometers. In the city, this is such a nice car to drive, you know, silent, smooth, and obviously the steering is also decently responsive. It's light at lower speeds, it weighs up decently well at high speeds because of the weight. Of course, there is some amount of body roll as well. It's not a car for handling, it's not the best in terms of ride at lower speeds, does really absorb the bad roads in its stride very nicely. As you speed up, big bumps and all do not really affect the vehicle as much. It kind of feels robust there. So Tata Motors has always been doing good in terms of the suspension. Obviously the springs are tall, so that really helps as well in terms of better ride as you speed up. So certain things are actually very impressive in the Nexon, whether it's the EV, whether it's the petrol, whether it's the diesel. I will still say get the diesel manual. Nothing beats a diesel manual, because it's so much faster to refill diesel fuel and then have a massive range when compared to an EV, wherein obviously it is too susceptible to how you're driving. If you drive a little fast, then you are completely screwed. Now they have 3 variants: Creative, Fearless, and of course the Empowered variant. The medium range comes with all the 3 variants. The long range only comes with Fearless and the Empowered variants. So that has been done so that people who really want the range need to pay a lot more. They can't get the base variant here. And this actually brings me to the expected price. I think it's going to start at around 18 lakh rupees, and no, maybe slightly lower as well on road Mumbai, because I forgot about the medium range. But I'm talking about the long range. It's going to start at 18 lakh rupees, go all the way to 21.5 lakh rupees, which makes it quite expensive. But then they're also giving you so many features now, so you really can't crib, because at the end of the day you get kind of bang for your buck, because this is still the best mass market affordable electric car you can buy in the country right now. The XUV really needs to buck up. Mahindra has to go and do a lot of things to the 400 to bring it on par with this car, because the kind of stuff which Tata Motors is now offering in this car is going to be difficult to match. I'm sorry, whenever I press the horn I have to do this cleaning bit. Everything gets so freaking dirty now that you always have to have this cloth with you. Okay, we're going to make a quick U-turn. The only problem I have now with this car is that the screen went for a vacation all of a sudden. See, the screen is saying pre-production hardware. Now it's turned on. In between it shut itself. So that's a bit of a problem, but it goes all over the place. By the way, the regen is not 10 to 15% better is what Tata Motors claims, and I'm just going to look for a nice patch of road where I can give it some beans, and there You can hear a bit more of the road noise and tire noise. Brakes are good, yeah, but little bit hard braking, and there the hazard lights start blinking. It doesn't have the sound of an ICE car, but it has this sort of a sound of a spaceship, you know. So that's kind of cool here. Ground clearance is also decent, so you don't have any problem even on the worst of roads. Battery sealed, so there's no problem of water entering and all that. Unlike petrol and diesel cars where you have to be careful of the exhaust, this car is, I'm telling you, apt for the city. It's a fantastic car for the city. Only thing is, out on the highway you obviously want more range. Before the signal goes green, let me just clean it as well, and off we go. And there's just too much traffic. Let's do the wiper test right away. In fact, the steering wheel position is a bit too high. Yeah, you can hear the tires screeching, so that could be better as well. The placement of the stalks is also a bit too high, so that's a little bit of a bummer. Yeah, I don't like the ergonomics of Tata cars. Everything is kind of how Fiat does it, and that's also not good. The ergonomic placement and all is not that smooth and intuitive somehow. Why am I honking? Every time I honk, now I have to clean the steering wheel. And obviously, it kind of is a love it or a hate it feeling. Some people really like it, some really don't. So guys, this is my vlog of the Tata Nexon EV. And if you like this vlog, make sure I pressed a button by mistake. If you like this button, give it a thumbs up. That's a like button. And also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Let me know what you think about this car versus the XUV400. And hopefully they make changes to the car. So because competition is always a good thing. And you can't use the arcade.ev app when you're driving the car, which means you can't play games, you can't watch movies, which is done for safety reasons. But I think they should have tilted the display only towards the co-passenger who could at least enjoy, right? And don't forget to check out this awesome fintech platform called PayMe. Click on the top right corner of the screen right now. Bye bye.